So, you wanted to play Call of Duty games on your low-end PC? Well then congratulations, you have clicked on the right video. Today I am going to show you 7 Call of Duty games that you guys can play on your low-end PC. So before we get started, I want you to like the video and subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. On number 7 spot we have Call of Duty 1. As a first-person shooter, Call of Duty places the player in control of an infantry soldier who makes use of various authentic World War II firearms in combat. Each mission features a series of objectives that are marked on the heads-up display's compass. The player must complete all objectives to advance to the next mission. The player can save and load at any time, rather than the checkpoint system utilized in later Call of Duty games. The player has 2 primary weapon slots, a handgun slot, and can carry up to 10 grenades. Weapons may be exchanged with those found on the battlefield dropped by dead soldiers. Unlike later Call of Duty games, the first allows the player to toggle between different firing modes, single shot or automatic fire. Call of Duty was one of the early first-person shooters to feature iron sights in gameplay. By pressing the corresponding key, the player aims down the gun's actual sights for increased accuracy. In addition to weapons carried by the player, mounted machine guns and other fixed weapon emplacements are controllable by the player. The game uses a standard health points system, with a limited amount of health reflected by a health bar. Medkits scattered throughout the levels or dropped by some foes are used to restore health when the player is injured. Call of Duty also featured shell shock, not to be confused with the psychological condition of the same name. When there is an explosion near the player, he momentarily experiences simulated tinnitus, appropriate sound muffling effects, blurred vision, and also results in the player slowing down, unable to sprint. As the focus of the game is on simulation of the actual battlefield, the gameplay differed from many single-player shooters of the time. The player moves in conjunction with allied soldiers rather than alone. Allied soldiers will assist the player in defeating enemy soldiers and advancing. However, the player is given charge of completing certain objectives. The game places heavy emphasis on usage of cover, suppressive fire, and grenades. AI-controlled soldiers will take cover behind walls, barricades, and other obstacles when available. The system requirements of Call of Duty 1 are Pentium 3 128 MB of RAM and 32 MB total VRAM. On number 6 spot we have Call of Duty 2. Call of Duty 2 is a first-person shooter that has a single-player story mode and a multiplayer mode. The player takes on the roles of several allied protagonists in specific missions during World War II. The player can crouch and lie prone and is able to scale low walls and other obstacles. 2 firearms can be carried, which can be swapped with those left on the battlefield, and both fragmentation and smoke grenades can also be carried. A gun's iron sights can be used to aim more accurately. A compass on the heads-up display (HUD) shows both allies and enemies, and objective markers to indicate locations the player must reach, areas to defend, or enemy cannons or tanks that the player must plant explosives on to disable. Emplaced weapons such as machine guns and flak cannons are available in some locations to take out enemy troops. In addition, some missions place the player in control of a tank. The player has a set of binoculars. While it is generally ignored during infantry-limited gameplay, it is vital to the long-range use of the Crusader tanks and one of the missions in which the player must direct artillery fire to defend a town. It is also important for scouting, though most of the game takes place in personal, close combat situations, reducing the importance of this tactic. Should the player take severe damage, the screen will turn red and the sound of the character's heartbeat will increase in volume. This indicates the player's health is low. The player must find a way to stay out of fire to recover before entering battle again, or else will die and restart from the last checkpoint. Health is only restored through automatic recharging when the player is not taking fire. Some attacks, such as explosions from grenades or shells, will kill the player instantly if the player is too close. In April 2006, Infinity Ward released the Call of Duty 2 Radiant, which allows a player to create their own multiplayer or single-player maps. Along with Radiant, the map maker includes Maya plugin support, an effects editor, and an asset manager which allows custom models to be made and imported into the game, as well as custom effects. Call of Duty 2 contains 3 individual campaigns, fought in the roles of 4 World War II soldiers, for a total of 27 missions. The game has 4 difficulty levels: easy, regular, hardened, and veteran. The system requirements of Call of Duty 2 are Pentium 4, 256 MB of RAM and 64 MB total VRAM. On number 5 spot we have Call of Duty 3. Call of Duty 3 is a historical first-person shooter game that has a single-player campaign mode and multiplayer mode. It is open-ended, giving the player multiple paths to complete objectives, but plays similarly to the series' previous installment. Players fight alongside AI-controlled teammates against enemies who use various attack patterns, hide behind cover, and regroup to improve defensive positions. A character can be positioned in one of three stances: standing, crouching, or prone, each affecting the player's rate of movement and accuracy. 2 firearms can be carried, and both fragmentation and smoke grenades can also be equipped. Unlike previous installments in the series, players have the ability to toss live grenades back at the enemy. Weapons and ammo from fallen foes or friendlies can be picked up to replace weapons in a player's inventory. A player may fire from the hip or aim down the gun's iron sights for increased accuracy. The compass on the heads-up display (HUD) helps the player navigate to the location of each objective. Using cover helps the player avoid enemy fire or recover health after taking significant damage. Similar to Call of Duty 2, the edges of the screen turn red and the character's heartbeat will increase in volume, indicating that the player's health is low. It can be replenished through an automatic recovery system when the character is not taking fire. The player takes the perspective of either an American, British, Canadian, or Polish soldier during the single-player campaign for a total of 14 missions. Set in the Western Front of World War II, Call of Duty 3 takes place in the year 1944 and contains missions specific to 4 major Allied campaigns in the Battle of Normandy. The player takes part in a series of objectives marked by their HUD. These include having the character arrive at a checkpoint, eliminate enemies in a specified location, manning a tank, and marking targets for airstrikes. Call of Duty 3 introduces to the series scripted close combat sequences and multiple actions to arming explosives, both of which require the player to press buttons in sequences to progress. The system requirements of Call of Duty 3 are a dual-core processor, 1 GB of RAM and 256 MB total VRAM. On number 4 spot we have Call of Duty World at War. World at War features more mature themes than previous Call of Duty installments and is open-ended, giving the player multiple ways to complete objectives, but otherwise generally plays like previous iterations of the franchise. Players fight alongside AI-controlled teammates. They help during the game's missions by providing cover fire, shooting down enemies, and clearing rooms for entry. When playing the YE version of the game, instead of using a normal controller, such as the ones used by the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, an optional gun-like expansion controller known as the YE Zapper can be used. The Zapper, or YE remote and nunchuck, can be used to aim at targets, to fire at them and simulate marksmanship. The game's return to World War II-era warfare reintroduces weapons and technology. The player gains access to these over the course of the game, but may only carry up to 2 weapons in addition to hand grenades. Weapons and ammo from fallen foes or friendlies can be picked up to replace weapons in a player's arsenal. Players can also find weapons with additional attachments, including guns equipped with rifle grenades, telescopic sights, and bayonets. A character can be positioned in one of 3 stances: standing, crouching, or prone, each affecting the character's rate of movement, accuracy, and stealth. Using cover helps the player avoid enemy fire or recover health after taking significant damage, as there are no armor or health power-ups. When the character has taken damage, the edges of the screen glow red and the character's heartbeat increases. If the character stays out of fire, the character can recover. When the character is within the blast radius of a live grenade, a marker indicates the direction of the grenade, helping the player in deciding whether to flee or throw it back at the enemy. The single-player campaign includes 13 hidden death cards, denoted by playing cards attached to makeshift war graves. There is 1 in each level, barring those that take place in vehicles. Collecting them unlocks cheats for co-op mode, such as reduced enemy endurance and paintball mode. All versions of World at War, with the exception of that for the YE, features the minigame Nazi Zombies. This is the first time the Zombies mode ever appeared in any Call of Duty game. In order to play the mode, the campaign must be completed. The mode consists of 1 to 4 players fighting an unlimited number of waves of Nazi zombies. Players can work together with other people to kill the zombies in a cooperative mode, either offline with 1 to 2 players or online with 2 to 4 players. The players gain points by injuring or killing the zombies or repairing boarded-up windows, which are used to remove blockages inside the bunker and to gain access to more useful weapons than the starting M1911 pistol and unlock more rooms. Zombies continually break the windows to gain entrance and to down the players. When all players are damaged enough to fall, the game is over. 3 extra maps for Nazi zombies were added with the World at War map packs. The system requirements of Call of Duty World at War are Intel Pentium 4, 2 GB of RAM and 256 MB total VRAM. So guys, that was the video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, and one more important thing, that YouTube will not show you my new videos unless you turn on the notification, so smash that bell icon and I'll meet you in the next video. Till then.